Testing 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 30 minutes late, folks. Sorry about that. Oh, my goodness. So, just trying to get everything going on the old computer. It is a hassle, gotta say. Sorry. It is a thing. So, anyhow, here we go. We're back to it tonight. It's been a bit of a hassle over the last week or so. Well, with the storms and everything, lots of work. I never want to drive another ground rod by hand again, I'll tell you that much. Well, I'll tell you that much I will. So, anyhow, here we go. Working some more on the... oh, good. I've got an unstable stream on Twitch and a excellent connection on YouTube. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, view, open widget, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that means. Alright, unstable, live streaming. Why is everything doing weird things tonight? Very strange. Okay, stream settings, let's see. Open widget. What is that? Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, goodness gracious. Land sakes alive. Last time, so I got this weird thing that said that last time I didn't shut down OBS correctly or something, and it needs to be in like safe mode. But the fact of the matter is, I stopped streaming and then I hit the X button. OBS is really weird. I would like to get an ATEM Stream Deck. Basically a video controller and not deal with OBS anymore. So, what is this open widget? I don't know. It doesn't say. Stream status poor. Analytics. Stream settings. I don't know. Let's see. It looks like, let's just do this. And it'll feed back to me and see. I know I've got a good... I've just got fiber, so I should have like some of the best super screaming fast internet ever. The only problem I could see is my computer's being janky, which is entirely possible. Let's see what's going on with oh, what's OBS doing? OBS might be just jacking me up here. Tools, help, I don't know. Oh. Settings? Let's see what settings has to say. Just don't get it. I think my computer is about to die, folks. I really think that this is the last go around for the old computer here. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube. But the cool thing is that over here on Twitch, we finally got a minis and models category. Okay, now my stream says excellent. Now my stream over here on YouTube is saying not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know about all that. Don't know about all that. That's just a little bit weird. But that's okay. As long as the Twitch stream is got excellent and the YouTube stream is just kind of a backup weird one, So if it's having issues, I'm not so concerned about the YouTube. But my monitor over here for my YouTube side is acting like it's pretty good so far. Of course, YouTube is a big lag. Twitch has a lag, but YouTube has a huge lag. Because obviously, I think we're going through, we're being analyzed by the algorithm. So, there's that. All right, so let me stop yammering on here like a crazy man. But it's been an awful week, and it's only Tuesday. Actually, today was very productive. Actually helped. Actually saved a guy's house from catching on fire. So, well, he actually kept his house from catching on fire. I just went and replaced the electrical components that were ruined because of whatever happening. I think it was probably due to loose connections. That's a huge problem for heat. But you all probably don't want to hear about that. And if I were really smart, I would do a channel about electrical work, but that might actually get a lot more notice than my paint streams. But the problem with that is you get so many my way's the right way and you don't know what you're doing kind of guys on there. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's sort of not fun sometimes in the even on the Instagram electric construction Instagram. It can get downright it just gets downright gatekeepery and horrible and everything. So anyway, my channel is actually sponsored by Dubby. So if you go to Dubby and use my code ROKKITFUEL Rocket Fuel, ROKKITFUEL Rocket Fuel, ROKKITFUEL, you can get, I think it's 20% off, 10% off, 20% off of your order. So I'm just saying that out there because if there are multiple ways to support the stream, either subscribing here on Twitch, I guess I could, I don't have a Patreon. Why don't you have a Patreon, JP? I'm just not that good. I'm a mediocre painter at best. I can get it done and on the table, but I am I'm no Sam Lenz or Mamicon or anybody else of that caliber. I'm not a winner. I'm a loser. So why don't you kill me? Soy un perdedor. I'm a loser, baby. Great song. Though I don't know how the YouTube algorithm would care for those words much. Very strange, you know. It's very nanny. Oh no, honey, you can't say that. Oh no. Oh no, you can't say that. Oh, we're gonna demonetize you. I'm not even monetized on YouTube yet. I don't even have 50 followers on YouTube yet, so I can't even live stream. I can't remote stream. I can live stream because that's what I'm doing right now, but I can't remote stream on YouTube, which I was going to do a couple of weekends ago when I was at Ralpartha Legacy. So if you want to help me out with the YouTube side of things, definitely drop a subscribe over there. I'm looking for 50 subscribers so that I can remote stream. I could remote stream from Twitch as well, but the YouTube remote stream I thought was going to be kind of interesting. I made up a thumbnail and everything. Hey, your boy. Yeah, new category dropped. Right on. Yeah, we finally made it. We're in the big leagues now, your boy. How you doing, Heavy T? Good to see you tonight. So this is this month's actually it's the September um monthly monster. So this is the Cavern Troll from Wizkids, and if you are a subscriber to the Twitch channel, you will be in the running to receive it. So I figure it's the only way I can really support my subscribers, really give them a reason for subscribing if they get a chance to win a fairly decently painted figure. Now, what I'm trying to do here, you may be able to tell, I'm working on these as crystals. So there's green crystals, blue crystals. We never ever see yellow crystals, though. So I figured the yellow would be a nice warm color against the gray. So the cold gray versus the nice warm yellow. I thought that might be an interesting juxtaposition. And I can darken it down with some Cassandora yellow, which is kind of an orange wash from the the contrast paint line. That's a good orange wash color, so I can darken it down if I have to. And then I use I like to use moon dust or ice yellow from Vallejo. Moon dust from War Paints and Vallejo ice yellow are very similar colors. So they're kind of yellow mixed with a little bit of ivory. And so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to hit the edges. I'm going to do some edge highlighting on these crystals. So we'll use the moon dust, and as you can see, it's a little more pale. So here you have what I was just using is the bismuth yellow from the Rogue Hobbies signature set from Monument for their Pro Acryl, right? So that was it's a very bright yellow, very saturated yellow. And then, of course, I went over the yellow ochre from Vallejo, just to kind of give a nice base that the yellow could work up from, right? And we're just kind of giving the idea. It's not super exactly how you would normally paint crystals. I'm sure there are much more time-consuming ways, but this is designed to just kind of get it on the table. So we're just going to use this moon dust, and we're going to just highlight those edges, as you can see, or maybe you can't see out there, depending on how good my camera is. So but yeah, we finally got our own category on Twitch, minis and models, miniatures and models. I am pretty stoked about that. I mean, it only took them 5 years to do it, right? You know, before that you had your choice of art or just chatting or Warhammer. I mean, Warhammer is miniatures, but miniatures aren't always Warhammer. You know, so here what I'm doing is I'm just edge highlighting using the edge of my brush. Notice, edge highlighting, not only is it what you're highlighting, the part of the figure that you're highlighting, but it's also how you highlight. So it's kind of interesting portmanteau, if you will, of the technique, or the method, I should say, and the area. And it's very subtle. This that bismuth yellow is so very saturated, and the moon dust is very desaturated yellow, but it is brighter because it's got a little bit of ivory in it. I don't know how it's going to work, but it does seem to be working, especially on places where you have two different, where you have the ochre kind of showing through and the bismuth, the bismuth yellow kind of just right there, brightening everything up. And then we can go ahead and finally what we could actually do is take a little bit of white and just go at the where the facets and the sharp points of the crystal go together. We could probably brighten it up even further there. And if it gets a little sloppy, I'm not really that concerned. I think it will add to the effect a little bit. So, because crystals are natural. There's a lot of weird things that happen in crystals as far as refraction goes. Very similar to the gem style painting, right? With the darker lower half and the brighter upper half with that dark center. So we'll do some gemstones. We'll do a little, hey, Quantum, good to see you. Oh, yeah. I changed the stream schedule for the new category. Right on. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I am so glad to see that happening. What's funny is, about a month or so ago in one of the streams, Adam Loper mentioned that keep an eye on it because I guess somebody from Twitch had been talking to him. So I always said we should have pooled our resources and sent Adam and Brent from Goobertown. You know Brent. I know you know Brent. Quantum. I know you've met Brent. He was at the meetup at Adepticon back in the springtime. I got to chat with him for a while. Nice guy. Nice guy. Anyhow, I always said we should send Brent and Adam out to TwitchCon to plead our case for our own yeah, Bert, right? Bert Mabers. That's a great thing about Brent. He's got that real dry sense of humor, which is something very much from people from Maine seem to have. My mom was from Augusta, Maine, so she kind of had that same really quiet sort of humor. It was always hard to make her laugh. She would just kind of look at you, go, mm-hmm, yep, when you were just getting wild and trying to be silly. It's a very down east, very Maine sort of a way, but he's got that quiet humor that's kind of tongue in cheek, Wry, WRYE, wry. That's a good way to put it. Wry, that wry sense of humor, Brent was pushing for the new category during his brief tenure on Twitch. Yeah, absolutely. And he was pushing for it, and we've been pushing for it a long time, we've always, and then we've had the discussion forum about it for probably 3 years now, 2 years. As long as I've been on Twitch, that's been a thing. I think he might have started that petition thread. But no, I always thought we should pool our resources and send him and Adam Loper out to TwitchCon and plead our case. But yeah, we finally got one that's not Warhammer, not just chatting, not just art, because you can get so much lost in art, you know. And now eventually, I do want to do some canvas work here. Eventually, but when I do, I'll go back to the art category. But hopefully, I'll have my mini painting friends come over and check out my canvas work. That would be really cool. Yeah, deadpan humor. Exactly. Exactly, Quantum. Yep, the deadpan humor. But it's funny. I think each region of the country or where people come from sometimes does influence their style of humor, the way people look at life. Russians, if you talk to Russians, they have a different view on life than say Germans even, and Germans have a different view on life than Britons. And I mean, it really is very lots of cultural differences in humor and what people think is funny. You know, I mean, there are some people that just don't get even the Three Stooges or Charlie Chaplin. You know, believe it or not. And then everybody else is normal. No, no, everybody finds people find different people find different things funny. You know, but I was trying to get a little rise out of Brent at Adepticon. I said, "So, are people from Maine?" Knowing that people from Maine have a, so, like I was saying, my mom was from Maine, and or is from Maine. She grew up there, lived her life, lived her early years in Maine, grew up there, was born and raised. So I said to Brent, I said, "So are you a maniac or are you a Mainer?" Because we used to tease my mom about being a maniac. And if you knew her, oh boy, it was sort of true. I won't say much more than that. That's about all. Lord, I apologize. Bless the pygmies in Africa. Of course, Twitch introduces the minis and models category right when I'm in the middle of painting actual Warhammer minis. Right? Right. Well, Warhammer is still a category. And I think that if people are actually just interested only in Warhammer, that's a good place for them. But if they are interested in the greater hobby at large, I think the models and minis, and there's a lot more than just minis and Warhammer to modeling too. There's scale modeling. There's a lot of people that do scale modeling. Um, I think you've seen uh, old Old Manchu Warrior is a follower. He who pops in sometimes on my holiday streams, my Tanksgiving streams. He comes in sometimes and visits, but he's a scale modeler overall. So, um, yeah, scale modeling is also a thing. So minis and models, I think, is a much more general hobby focused sort of a category where it's not. I would feel like I'm lying if I used the Warhammer category to paint this guy, for instance. I would feel like I was lying, you know. So, especially if I'm not painting something from workshop. So, if I were painting maybe Lord of the Rings, I might use the Warhammer category, but I'm really glad to have the minis and models category because, quite honestly, that to me is the most honest presentation. So, and I think that's important. So, I was getting out of frame. I apologize for that. I was kind of scooting out of frame here. Scoot, scoot, scoot. A scoot, scoot, scoot. Scooting out of frame. So we're just doing the little edge highlighting here. Not being super precise or too worried about it. Because we're going to hit a little bit of white there just to kind of get some little pops of just address that and make those edges look sharper, brighter, like they're catching a little more light. And if I need to throw a little orange on there, I've got all sorts of oranges from Monument Hobbies to use. Not all of them, some of them. Been meaning to get down to my FLGS to. Yes, I'm being edgy now. Yeah, real edgy. There we go. Edgy statements incoming. I like zebra cakes. I like zebra cakes better than I like Twinkies or ding dongs or ho hos. Zebra cakes is where it's at. They are the superior confectionery pastry to all other little Debbies. Yes, that's right. You got me pegged. I'm a pastry supremacist. And zebra cakes is where it's at. There's some edgy content for you there, Quantum. I know that's probably going to lose me some subscribers. You know, we'll, the calls to cancel me will be out on X in the morning. I'll have to go in to meet with my employer. They're gonna dox me and cancel me for talking about the supremacy of zebra cakes. If you're in Britain, it'd be zebra cakes. Actually, they have Jaffa cakes. I don't know what those are though. Never tried one. Twinkies are the best. You know, I do like, hey, Blades, miniatures and mods. That's right. That is right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miniatures and models. Represent what? All right. It's nice to have a home. Isn't it nice to have a home, folks? It is pretty amazing to have a home. We're not leaning on workshop through the Warhammer, and we're not leaning on the arts and crafts community. You know, having a home now is absolutely terrific. Isn't it nice? I mean, I think discoverability will be much better, and I also think everybody's viewership will go up. Honestly, I really hope everybody's viewership goes up, goes through the roof. Um, and here's the other thing, it will build our community so much better too. You know, it will give everybody that many more people to know, more people to lean on for advice. You know, it's gonna, it just warms the cockles of my heart that we have that now. It's just absolutely top drawer amazing. I mean, finally, finally. You know, of course, when you have one of the biggest YouTubers on your side, you know, and Brent's a little bit more of an more activist, activy sort of a guy than say Adam or anybody else. But I was saying to Quantum and everybody that was here before, I was saying, I always thought we should get a GoFundMe together to send Adam and Brent to TwitchCon and have them plead our case, because it didn't feel like we were getting any traction on the miniatures and models petition. It felt like it was sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. I mean, what is it, a couple of lines of code maybe, hire a high schooler to come in on a weekend and write it in 20 minutes. I mean, whatever. But that's not the way these larger corporations work, And of course, Twitch is owned by Amazon. So, the thing about large corporations is they don't turn on a dime. They're kind of big ships, So they start their turn, and it takes a while for the order to get down from the wheelhouse to the rudder, and it just takes time. Yeah, we were a joke to them. Cockles, ha ha ha! Right, Quantum. Yeah, I knew somebody was gonna ding me for that. Yeah, I don't know if we were a joke. I mean, why would we be a joke to them, though? I mean, this is just as much of an important community as say arts and crafts. I think anyhow. But I've been painting figures for like roundabout 35 years now. I'm still no good at it, but told Jimmy so happy. Yeah, absolutely. Not taken seriously. Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think you're right. But when you have a convention that has grown and changed venues twice since 2005, 2006, when you have a convention like that has grown so big that it's had to change venues twice, and it's getting ready to do it a third time, and it's just miniatures. And you have guys like Jeremy at Black Magic Craft. He's got nearly 500,000 subscribers. You've got Scott at Miniac, Scott Walters. You got him. He's got 350,000 subscribers. Adam's got 250,000. A lot of other people, a lot of like Zorp, I think, has 150,000, 200,000, something like that. I mean, when you have that kind of presence on YouTube for produced content, and then you have so many of us that are out here, I mean, Blades, you were at the Blades and Quantum both, and anybody else out there, if you were at Adepticon, I know you all were at Adepticon in the springtime. We were all at that content creator meetup, and you saw the amount of people that are putting content out there. That was not a small amount. However, it is a very good base, and it is a small amount in relation to the people overall that are out there wanting advice on miniatures, wanting to see people paint miniatures and show people how to do miniatures. And just for general encouragement, hey, you got this pile of opportunity. Let's get through that together. Here's what works for me. Oh, you want to learn how to paint yellow better? This is the way I do it. There a lot of times, and I know you all, those of you who have been painting for a while, will probably agree, there's more than one way to approach a problem. So here's how I do it. Here's how somebody else does it. When you have a platform like this, you can go through the whole evening and watch different approaches to a lot of times the same project. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's nice to have a home. It's like wow. Wow. I saw that post from Brent today and I was like, absolutely. We have arrived. So I'm going to take a little bit of white here and I'm going to put it down here and I might pick up a little bit of this moon dust. And this is just basic white from Vallejo. I just grabbed it off the rack. I've got a lot of different whites to use, but this is the one I grabbed. And but yeah, so here's the thing. So think of Adepticon as being representative of the overall hobby in itself. So every person at Adepticon represented probably 10 people that didn't get to go to Adepticon. Okay, so just think of it like that. So I'm add a little bit of yellow to the moon dust, or sorry, a little bit of white to the moon dust, and we're gonna bring it up, and it's gonna desaturate a little bit more, but that's okay because it's gonna go bright. Um, so, and it actually kind of takes it more towards that ivory, which I don't know if I want to do that. That looks a little dingy, but we'll just hit that. We'll just see where it takes us. But yeah, I mean that legitimizes us a little bit more, I think. Um, but what I'm saying is, if the 8,500 people that were at Depticon in the springtime, that was the sales for the um, badge sales. Now, of course, Adepticon always allows you to go in and shop for free, because hey, why not, right? Throw the locals a bone, um, and help the vendors out too. So you could actually go to Adepticon without a badge. Now, as far as what's going to happen in Milwaukee, who knows, right? But for the time being, you could. And you could go into the vendor's hall without a badge. You could play all the demo games you wanted without a badge. So booth demos, you could just sit there. You could play anything you wanted without a badge. Because that throws a bone to the vendors. That throws a bone to the locals. And what was funny is I was watching an interview. If you're not watching Build Paint Play on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube, you need to start doing that because there are industry luminaries that are interviewed by Dave Taylor and Jake Krajewski. And one of those luminaries is Hank Edgley, who is the chief cook and bottle washer at the Adepticon organization. He's kind of him and Mateus were the two people that kind of got it going. Well, anyway, he was saying that they had 8,500 paid tickets this year. And as far as they're going to try to keep the vendor hall open to the general public, they're gonna still try to do that in their new location as well. So business as usual. Feeling so illegitimate before. Well, it never felt illegitimate by any means. We were just as legitimate as any other group on here, any other category, I should say. But tell you what, it will help discoverability because that's one of the reasons why I'm also simulcasting on YouTube now, is because YouTube has better discoverability. Although I need to learn how to do SEO a little bit better. What was funny was there was a foreign channel that was ripping off my Twitch streams, and they were probably just using SEO to get views. But they had full 2-hour episodes of me on their channel, and they had 4,500 views. So I said I need to have some of that. So I'm simulcasting on YouTube, and I'm definitely not going to be getting 4,500 views anytime soon, because evidently I didn't. I probably should have put it in a translator to see what kind of title that they were putting out on there to get that kind of views, but I reported them and had their videos taken down. Before I thought of it, and somebody said, "Well, what you could have done is you could have put in the comments, for more videos like this, follow me on Twitch." But my my legal brain took over instead of my logical brain. So I found one of those YouTube channels, just random Twitch mini painters with foreign language overdubs. Yeah. It was and I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's just to get views or something, but I don't know. It was like Sanskrit or Hindi or something like that. I'm not sure what the channel, I couldn't make out. I want to say it was Hindi. But I reported it. But how do they get that kind of, how do they get the views? How does they get 4,500 views, on my poor quality content? Should I learn Hindi? Should I start speaking in Hindi or Swahili? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to learn that language. What's the miniatures culture like in some of these foreign lands? I mean, I'd say some places they probably view them as idols or something. Burned at the stake for idolatry. I don't know. They pick streams without identifying marks in the overlay. Yeah, that's true. Now, I'm supposed to have a overlay on my. I'm supposed to have a watermark on my YouTube stream, but I don't see it. I don't know. I had it set up so it's supposed to do that, but who knows? Content farms, bot content generating, bot views for ad revenue. Possibly. That sounds pretty reasonable, actually. That makes a lot of sense, Quantum. I know there's a lot of that kind of thing. They do that a lot with overseas channels like that. Which, I mean, I can't fault them. They're trying to hustle and make a buck. But at the same time, I don't think you should steal from content creators. I've actually had sculpts pirated and resculpted and sold without the people that I actually gave permission to make those sculpts to reproduce those sculpts. They saw nothing. They saw no money from it, right? So I okay. So you guys know that I work with Sea Dog Game Studios from time to time, and we have a game that you know one of the one of the modes of play is called the Golden Age of Piracy, right? So yeah, so we enjoy studying about naval history and piracy and the effects it had. Well, pirates are, when you get right down to it, pirates are thieves. Pirates are amoral. They're doing what is expedient for them to get the most amount of money for the least amount of work. That's just the fact of the matter. And piracy of content is the same thing. Piracy of content, or pirating a sculpt or the like, those are really all the same. And it's illegal, and good riddance for it being illegal. So, but karma will get you too sometimes. I mean, the gentleman that was pirating my sculpts, and they weren't anything special. They were Jersey barriers, or K rails as you might call them, California barriers, Jersey barriers. The concrete divider that is on the highway when there's construction. That's what I sculpted up. And this guy decided to copy, to make molds of my work, which was being sold through Sea Dog Game Studios, who was the only entity allowed to produce that by my own words, by my own hand, by my own agreement. Well, anyhow, this guy's business went belly up shortly after I found out that he was doing that. So, karma is a you know what. Got him without having to get him. And I had a lawyer on my side too. She was ready to tear the guy a new one for free for me, so. But we didn't have to. Hoisted on his own petard. Bad business decisions, you think? Right? So, could they go back to, yeah, gold farming, right? Net activity without human action. Could they go back to World of Warcraft gold farming, please? Right? Well, I mean, what's the other thing? What's it? What's that? Bitcoin farming. That's a thing, right? They could do that. I mean, or building up an account on a game and selling the account, which I know a lot of companies and a lot of games don't like allowing that to happen, but it does happen. Um, and it's really hard to check that kind of thing out. From what I understand, it's really hard for them. They want to police it, but it's really hard for them to do so. But that's been a while since I looked into that kind of thing. Because they like to, because people will sell accounts. They'll work it, and they'll put a lot of work into it, and then they'll sell it. And I know that like they did that with World of Tanks. I think they kind of cracked down on that. World of Warcraft was a big one for that kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm just going real dashy at this with the hey, got 3 viewers over here on the YouTube side of things. Appreciate that. Hey, if you have a chance, if you haven't already, go ahead. Feel free to give that a like there. And if you're subscribing, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button there. And that will be absolutely wonderful. So, appreciate you watching over here on YouTube. Those of you who are, nice to have you. So, don't be shy, don't be bashful. Hop in the chat if you got questions about miniatures painting or what I'm doing here. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm just painting some miniatures. Oh my. If you got a question at all about what I'm doing, how long I've been doing it, or what I'm painting here, feel free to ask questions. Quantum Reverie. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. That is okay. Blades had her Insta. Yeah, I saw that. Quantum. The her Instagram got hijacked by somebody doing the trying to shill for crypto. Yeah, that was man, that was pretty bonkers, right? I saw that. And Instagram being what it is, trying to get anybody to move on that kind of thing is really tough. I don't know. Did she get it back, or did she just start her up a new channel? I think she just started up a new channel, didn't she? Or a new not channel, duh, a new account, right? So I think that's what she did, right? Because I think I blocked her old account, and I've got her new account following me and following back and forth. I think. Yeah, new channel, new account, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was unfortunate. All her pictures of all her work, and of course Cooper, because he is a perfect gentleman. All those pictures of the dog are gone. Well, I'm sure they're still somewhere, but you know, there are just some people that people that hijack accounts like that. Just, I mean, if there were ever a an argument for fiery eternal torment, that would be it. It's all too common now. Watch out for random people who are interested in sponsoring your YouTube or Twitch channels. Right? Yeah. I've got stuff coming through Stream Elements, and that's about it. But randoms, and then they ask for some level of control too. I think, don't they? I don't remember. But unless you're Game Envy or Elric's Hobbies or Foxbite, you know, um, if you're not somebody that's in the hobby, that is a brand that I use or am interested in working with, or Dubby, an energy drink company that sponsored me right off the bat. Which, if you are not subscribed to the channel, that is another way to help me with the channel. I do need some new equipment, so get a discount with your purchase at Dubby if you like energy drink that doesn't give you a crash down and is sugar free. Go to dubby.gg and use my code Rocket Fuel. Rokkitfuel. Rocket Fuel. That's a thing. So I haven't mentioned that for a long time. But I'm throwing that out there because there are legitimate, like Quantum was saying, there are legitimate sponsors. And they are a legitimate sponsor. And I do use their product from time to time. So, because I like coffee, but I don't always want coffee sometimes. Especially in the summertime when it's too hot. You know, want something kind of fruity and sweet. Hey, Heretic Scott, how you doing? Just dropping in to see what shenanigans are going on in the Pocket Dimension TM. Well, I am working on this month's monthly monster. It is the Cavern Troll from Wizkids. And I'm working on doing these crystals on its back and arms. And I'm probably not doing it as good as you could do it there, Heretic Scott, because I have seen your work and it is chef's kiss amazing. My man, you are a master of the art. So, but here I am I am like a, I am like a kindergarten kid with finger paints compared to what you can do, amigo. I'll tell you what. And I'm probably doing this all the wrong way with these crystals, but I think they're turning out okay. So, just kind of getting some darkness into them, and I might throw a little Cassandora yellow on there, which is a little orangey wash, just to kind of blend some of these sharp edges together. So, but crystals are fun because they've got those really sharp points on them, sharp edges, so you can really get your edge highlighting practice in on them and build up where you're not really going around the whole thing. You're just kind of stopping. You're getting these high sharp points and stopping, and you've already had build up from the deep to the lighter, and then you go out here and you kind of stop, and then you go here, kind of stop, and then go here, and just kind of get those points where the light is going to catch. So you're not going along the whole edge. So, segue. Haha, well, thank you. I will say you do a good job yourself. You can't debate that either because I have proof sitting on my cabinet. This is true. So, Quantum Reveries and Heretic Scott were actually some of the first winners of monthly monsters. The initial monthly monster, which I believe Quantum Reverie had the Umber Hulk, and Heretic Scott got the Owlbear. So if you two are watching out there and you want a shot at a hand-painted, finely crafted monthly monster miniature, feel free to subscribe to my Twitch channel, become a subscriber, and as gratitude, you will have an opportunity to win one of these ostensibly finely painted miniatures. But Owlbear is a mean birdie. I love my Umber Hulk. Nice. Well, I appreciate that. Which I've got DD Mini's Blue Dragon actually boxed up, and I need to get that out to him. So, I haven't seen him in chat for a while. He's got some things going on. I think he and his wife are looking into buying a new house, I think. Not to tell tales out of school, but I think he's looking to buy a new house. So, he was telling me about it over the Discord for a little while. And if you want, here is a link to my Discord if you're not already on it. DISCORD Discord. So, owlbear is a mean birdie. Absolutely. All right, so I think I've got the crystals to a pretty decent place. Tabletop plus, we'll say. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to take some gray, some dark gray and a little bit of light gray, and we're going to play around with it and just kind of pick up some of the places that I touched and wore off a little bit. And then we might take a little bit of the Speed Paint 1.0 and do a little wash and rub it away to get into the deep crevices. So eventually, now I'm kind of darkening up here, but that's because I rubbed off a little bit of paint with my big, ugly, greasy, nasty fingers. Actually, I wash my hands before I handle my minis, but at the same time, sometimes you will wear them away. And I did have this on a painting handle, but I kept knocking it off because it's a little bit, it's fairly massive and it likes to pop right out of the cradle on that thing. So it is what it is. So but yeah, so I'm multi-streaming now because Twitch changed their rules last year and said that we can start multi-streaming. So now, Heretic Scott, I'm actually multi-streaming over to YouTube as well, which will keep my live streams up in perpetuity, you know, on my channel over there. So that's nice. And hopefully I can get some produced and edited videos up and running over there and kind of inflict some of my opinions on gaming and miniatures painting in much the same way as old Uncle Adam, Adam Loper does. I've been thinking about that for a while. He kind of beat me to it. Well, I won't say he beat me to it. There were a lot of things I was thinking about doing back around the same time that, say, Mel Bowes was doing his terrain channel, and it was around the same time that Jeremy at Black Magic Craft started his, and I thought about doing all that stuff, but then I saw so many other people doing so much great work that I didn't think that I could. But here's why I have a lot of respect for Adam Loper. Man, he's only a couple of years older than me, I think. But I was talking with him at one of the conventions, and I said, you know, I'd like to do kind of what you're doing, but I feel like that you're already doing it, so I don't really need to do it. He says, well, you could do it, but it's your own voice too, so it's your perspective, it's your voice, and that is what would make your content unique. So I thought that was pretty good. So I kind of had that as my navigation, my point of navigation, and avoided, you know, again, kind of one of the reasons why I did the live streaming was because I just haven't really had a chance to get into editing videos, but I'm working on that. I'm trying to find some time I can really get into that. But with my job right now, these storms that came through, I'm an electrician, so you can imagine what my last couple of days, last week has been like. So, yeah, I honestly didn't know if I was going to make a stream tonight, quite honestly. So I was thinking about canceling out for the week, but things just worked out that I was able to get on tonight. So, actually saved a guy's house from burning down today. You know, electricity is one of those things that just doesn't mess around. So, All right, we'll pick up a little white. We'll mix it back into this gray. And not really worry too much about it. This is just a troll. And this troll is standing on his head now. So we'll just bring this up a little bit. A little bit there. And we'll get a little bit of that fog gray. And we'll just do a little wet blending up here. We'll do a little wet blending and try to brighten up his face just a little bit, because that's what you want to do when you got a troll coming down at you and he's flailing his arms and he's about to smash you. You want to try to make sure that you brighten up his day, brighten up his face a little bit. Yeah, so now here we go. We're brightening up his face. Bringing that up a little bit more. Pick up a little bit of white. Generally, I don't like to use white because it desaturates too much, but because white and black are your main components in gray, I think it's going to be okay. So we'll take a little bit of that light and we'll just brighten that up just a little bit more. Brighten that up just a smidge, just a little more. There we go. Now remember, it will dry down about a quarter of a shade, just a little bit darker than what you put it on at. But we want to try to brighten up his face. Brighten up his day, brighten up his face, make him smile. Hey, if you can, make a troll smile today. All right. So that's good. Now let's go for his mouth and his teeth and his eyes. We're only at 10:39, so we got about 20 more minutes to go in this stream tonight, because you know we go from 9 to 11 on Tuesday night and then 7 from 7 to 11 on Thursdays. Though Thursday I might cut a little short because I do have an early morning on Friday to go out and do an estimation for somebody. So yeah, anyhow, let's see what we got here. We'll just catch a little bit of that light, catch a little light, catch a little white here. We'll just let that kind of bounce around a little bit, see if it blends off. Just see if it blends off just a little bit. It does. It blends off. That's a nice catch right there. Don't be afraid to try new things with your miniatures. And of course, you know me, whenever I'm working on a miniature for somebody or for a reason, I always decide that's the good time to experiment. Whenever I do a commission, I always start experimenting. That's probably not the best thing to do, but it's what I do because, hey, I'm just crazy like that. Oh, I wish my face cam were up and running. For some reason, it just doesn't work. It has found its way to disconnect inside the computer, whatever that means. If you want to help me buy a new computer, consider subscribing or drop some bits. That'd be nice. But you don't have to. No need if you don't want. I know times are tough, and if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But if you do subscribe, you are in the running for. If you are a Twitch subscriber. Now this is not the same on YouTube. Although on YouTube, if you help me get to 50, we can do mobile streams. And I was going to do a mobile stream from Ralpartha Legacy weekend before last, but as it was, that was not going to happen because you need to have 50 subscribers before you can mobile stream. But that led me to another thing. I took some footage and some pictures, and hopefully I will be able to get around to it and make a nice video and share with you my visit to Ralpartha Legacy 2 weekends ago. Hey, I'm not going to have to look at this on my shelf every day if it fails. Let's try something new. Right? Quantum's dropping the truth bombs out there. Oh. Very true, very true. Let's try something new. Yes, it's always a good idea to try something new when you actually have another project for somebody else. Let's see. Now, here's a thought. What have I got here in the way of weird green? Because I don't want this guy's teeth to be white. Like, orcs' teeth are white because they're kind of calcium. And this guy's teeth could be white because I mean he is made out of stones and calcium is a mineral. Limestone is calcium, um, but he's kind of granite. But I also want to make it look like he doesn't brush his teeth very good. So maybe we'll go for a green. Maybe, excuse me. Maybe we'll go for a green. Sorry, hiccups. So let's go with. Let's see. I don't want to use that. Let's see what I got here. Let's go with some weird greens for his teeth. Oh, here's an idea. So what if his teeth? So what if? So let's say he's got his body is stone. He's got crystals growing out of him. What if his teeth were metal? Let's say copper. That would be kind of cool. So let's do this. Let's undercoat his teeth in like a verdigris green, kind of light green, and then we'll do some copper color over top of that. Um, that's kind of a neat concept. Let's try that. Now that's going to be weird, but I am not beyond or above being weird. Ask my third grade teacher. I was weird. Actually, second grade teacher. My second grade teacher signed my report card at the end of the year. She said, never lose your sense of humor. I don't know what that meant, but I think she was referring to me being a weird little kid. So let's do this. Let's get a little this, a little that. And we'll do a little bit of verdigris, and we'll undercoat for verdigris, and then over top of that, we'll do a copper color. And what do we got? We got 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes in tonight's stream. So, this will be interesting. Alright, so we're going to use Warpaint's Kraken Skin and Toxic Mist for our verdigris colors. So, a darker verdigris and a lighter verdigris. So, darker is usually the newer, I believe, and the older is usually the lighter verdigris. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it goes. But we're just going to mix it up. We're going to make it look ugly and crusty. And yeah, because he's a troll, and he's kind of ugly and crusty, but he has a heart of gold. So he might not have the best dental hygiene, but he means well. So, you know, maybe this guy is like the Iron Giant, right? Everybody misunderstands him. Shrek, right? So there was Shrek, right? So think about Shrek, right? Everybody kind of, ooh, ogre. It's always, ogre. Ah. Right? Well, you know, Shrek just wanted to be left alone, man. He wanted to be left alone and be happy where he was. So maybe this is kind of this guy. And, you know, we got to know Shrek over the course of a couple, 2 or 3 movies. And he wasn't such a bad guy. He wasn't the ogre that we usually think of ogres as being. Although, I had thought about, after I watched the second Shrek movie, I thought about doing an ogre army. And I was going to paint them green, but then I realized I've already got orcs. And orcs are green, so why should I paint my ogres green? So I don't paint my ogres green. Although I am planning on painting an ochre. So I want to do an ochre ogre. So we're going to undercoat with the green. This is Kraken skin, whatever. And we're just gonna undercoat his little teeth here. Undercoat his little teeth, and then we're gonna go back over, and we're gonna probably hit him with some brass and bronze and copper, and just make him have some metallic teeth. Because if you are a creature of the elements, why wouldn't the elements be present in your body? I mean, here we are as humans. As humans, we have those elements on our body. We have calcium, we have iron, we have various other magnesium, and like our teeth are calcium, our bones are calcium. We get magnesium in the lattice work when we ingest magnesium. Iron is in our blood, which is reflected by its red color, when it oxidizes. So why can't a troll have those colors reflected in his physiognomy? Physiognomy or physiology? I think physiognomy is a pseudoscience, right? Trying to figure out what a person is like by their physical qualities. So I think this would be physiology is correct here. Ogres are like onions. You mean they smell bad and make you cry? Maybe they're like a parfait. People like parfaits. Yeah, great movie. Absolutely. So, green teeth. Green teeth is all I want. Green teeth is all I need. So, there's green teeth. And that's a darker one. We're going to go ahead and hit him with... So that's the Kraken skin, and that's the old Army Painter war paints. I know a lot of people are selling them off and switching over to the Fanatic paint lines, which are amazing paints, absolutely. But I have a pretty good collection of paints. I'm not just going to stop using what I've got just to switch and buy into something else. And that's not a dig against Army Painter. I've dealt with a lot of the Army Painter people. I mean, Kat and Caleb are amazing. Adam, Sam, all the street team, Phil, just amazing, wonderful people. They love the hobby. They're nice people. I think Army Painter hit it out of the park because they got people that like people, and people that love the hobby, right? So, Adam likes people. That's why he has the every other Sunday show, and he has his Patreon for his irregulars, and he has, Adam is a very personable person. He's one of those people that you could see actually being in a fantasy world. He might be a tavern keeper. He just likes to meet people and talk and get to know things and the like. So, all right. So I'm using the Toxic Mist here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of lighter sort of a verdigris. I don't know where it'll take me, but I mixed that in a little bit on the wet with the previous Kraken skin, and then maybe I might do some stippling to get some copper and brass sort of colors on there. But we are coming to the end of the stream, and the end of the stream means my bedtime, folks, because I'm getting old and I just can't stay up as much as I used to. 50 years on this planet will get to you after a while. So finally just watched Shrek Forever last weekend. There's a Shrek 5 movie in the works too. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I remember seeing Shrek Forever. I don't know if I did see it. I know I saw the first one. I saw the second one. I know I saw the third one because I think I went with my folks to see the third one. Well, actually, I saw the first one. Okay, so I saw the first one with my folks. I saw the second one by myself. I saw the third one with my folks. Dad and stepmom. I saw Ice Age with my cousin, and I saw Ice Age. He was, what was he? It would have been 2005, 2003, 2004. 2004, I think, was when Ice Age came out. I want to say. And I scooped up my cousin. He was 16 or 17 at the time. He was old enough to be a cool kid, right? So we started hanging out. And I introduced him to Hero Clicks and miniatures gaming and everything. And he was already into Legos, so it wasn't hard to make that jump, right? So we went to see. I said, "Hey, Dan," because that's his name, Dan. Because there's a lot of people named Dan, but his name is Dan. So I said, "Hey, Dan, let's go see Ice Age tonight." So he said, "All right." So we drove 45 minutes away to another town to see it. He said, "That's awful far away." I don't know if he was really asking, wondering, because where I lived, if you went to another town to see a movie, it was really no big deal because at the time we only had one screen in our cinema. They hadn't built the multiplex yet. So we only had one screen in our town. So going to another town to watch the movie was not really unheard of. But we sat down, the trailer started, and he didn't know it. I knew it, but he didn't know it. I knew that the trailer for Star Wars Episode 3 was attached to Ice Age. And so I sat there, and the Lucasfilm brand, sparkle came across, and then all you heard was and I looked at him and his eyes opened wide and his mouth dropped, and it was just the coolest thing. I had more fun and more fulfillment watching my cousin's reaction to a surprise Star Wars Episode 3 trailer than the trailer itself, because I enjoyed the trailer at the time. I'm a Star Wars guy. I enjoy Star Wars. Some of the newer stuff, I think they've gone. I don't know where they've gone with some of the stories. Some of the writing is just not good. I don't think they could get a C- in a creative writing class. And I'm not even, a lot of people focus in on what you might call identity politics issues. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the craft of the writing, plot holes, and not really plot holes, but just things that are set up that never pay off, and just some really bad writing mistakes. I don't want to get into all that because that's not what this channel's about, and there's plenty of people that are already talking about that and can deal with that themselves. I don't want to get into all that because somebody's going to say, "Oh my gosh, you don't like him because of blah," and they'll assign all sorts of terrible things to me instead of actually listening to what I say. So, we don't want to do that. They'd flunk for using ChatGPT for writing. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Quantum. Absolutely. That's about the level that I'm talking about. They couldn't even use ChatGPT to cheat. That's how bad they are. And it's unfortunate because I really did enjoy those. And visually, I mean, visually Star Wars is still, spot on. I mean, things look cool. People are, they're able to get the aesthetic, but I think some of the underlying ideas they don't get. Um, Something that I notice in the writing is it's like they don't know how to write humans. They don't know how to write people. How do people think, right? It's like, have they actually ever known an actual human being in their life? Because they've got people doing just incredibly stupid things. It's like, wow, how does that even work? Well, anyway, so here's our progress for tonight. Um, this is our Cavern Troll. We'll finish him up on Thursday. And I think Thursday night, as soon as I finish him, I think we will go ahead and have our drawing. Because, yeah, there's no need to pre to postpone the inevitable, right? So, anyhow, that is it for me for tonight. As I always say, um, as I always say, no matter how bad today was, the sun is coming up tomorrow, and the world is a better place with you in it. So over here on Twitch, we're going to go and we are going to raid out. And over there on YouTube, I am going to say good night to YouTube. So good night, YouTube. And